Now it's recording. Already previously I started recording, but power cut. That's why I forgot to again start. Right. Anybody else can say this problem? Voltage rating of a parallel pit capacitor is voltage rating. That means maximum potential difference across the capacitor is 500 volt. That is given. Okay. Next, its dielectric can withstand. That means in between the two plates of the capacitor, a dielectric medium is there. The dielectric can withstand a maximum electric field of. That means dielectric strength is given. Dielectric strength. The maximum intensity of electric field that can be developed inside the dielectric medium is called dielectric strength. That is equal to 10 to the power 6 volt per meter. Do you know the concept of dielectric strength? Do you know the concept of dielectric strength? Anybody else? Already we said in the class. Dielectric strength means whenever the potential difference across the dielectric here between the two plates of the capacitor, you see here between the two plates of the capacitor, when a dielectric medium is introduced and potential difference is applied between the two plates, and when V gradually increase, the intensity of electric field gradually increase, no? Because when V potential difference is applied between the two plates of the capacitor, then intensity of electric field developed inside the plates of the capacitor is E is equal to V by D. When V increase, E also increase. D is the distance between the two plates. D is the distance between the two plates. When V increase, E also increase, and whenever maximum potential difference is applied, at the time dielectric strength is equal to 10 to the power 6 volt per meter. That means the intensity of electric field developed inside the dielectric medium is 10 to the power 6 volt per meter. If further intensity of electric field is developed, at that time, here actually what is the role of the dielectric medium? When dielectric medium is introduced here, then it reduces the potential difference between the two plates of the capacitor. Due to that, we can increase the potential difference between the two plates. Due to that, some more charge is stored in the capacitor. That's why the capacitance of the capacitor is said to be increased. అంటే కెపాసిటర్ రెండు ప్లేట్స్ మధ్య డైఎలక్ట్రిక్ మీడియం ఇంట్రొడ్యూస్ చేసినప్పుడు ఏమవుతుందంటే కెపాసిటర్ రెండు ప్లేట్స్ మధ్య ఉన్న పొటెన్షియల్ డిఫరెన్స్ తగ్గిపోతుంది. అప్పుడు ఒరిజినల్ పొటెన్షియల్ డిఫరెన్స్ రావాలంటే మరికొంత ఛార్జ్ ని సప్లై చేసాం అనుకోండి, అప్పుడు మళ్ళీ పొటెన్షియల్ డిఫరెన్స్ పెరిగి ఒరిజినల్ వాల్యూ రీచ్ అవుతుంది. అంటే డైఎలక్ట్రిక్ మీడియం ఇంట్రొడ్యూస్ చేయడం వల్ల at the same potential, due to introduction of the dielectric medium between the two plates, more charge is stored here. అయితే ఇక్కడ పొటెన్షియల్ డిఫరెన్స్ ని పెంచుతాను కొద్ది ఏమవుతుంది, ఇంటెన్సిటీ ఆఫ్ ఎలక్ట్రిక్ ఫీల్డ్ డెవలప్ అవుతూ ఎప్పుడైతే ఈ మాక్సిమం ఇంటెన్సిటీ ఆఫ్ ఎలక్ట్రిక్ ఫీల్డ్, దట్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ డైఎలక్ట్రిక్ స్ట్రెంత్, దీనికి ఈక్వలెంట్ డైఎలక్ట్రిక్ స్ట్రెంత్ దీంట్లో డెవలప్ అయిందో, ఆ తర్వాత అప్పుడు దీంట్లో మాక్సిమం ఛార్జ్ స్టోర్ అయి ఉంటుంది. ఆ టైంలో ఇంకా పొటెన్షియల్ డిఫరెన్స్ ఇంక్రీజ్ చేసాం అనుకో, ఇంకా డైఎలక్ట్రిక్ స్ట్రెంత్ పెరుగుతుంది. కానీ పెరగగానే ఈ డైఎలక్ట్రిక్ మీడియంలో అయనైజేషన్ జరిగి అదొక కండక్టింగ్ మీడియం గా బిహేవ్ చేసి ఈ డైఎలక్ట్రిక్ మీడియం కి తర్వాత చుట్టూ ఉన్న సరౌండింగ్ మీడియం లేదా అట్మాస్ఫియర్ మధ్య కండక్టింగ్ మీడియం గా బిహేవ్ చేయడం వలన ఈ ప్లేట్స్ మీద ఉండే ఛార్జ్ మొత్తం కూడా డైఎలక్ట్రిక్ మీడియం లోకి ట్రాన్స్ఫర్ అయిపోతూ ఉంటుంది. అయనైజేషన్ జరిగింది కాబట్టి డైఎలక్ట్రిక్ మీడియం బిహేవ్స్ లైక్ ఏ కండక్టర్. దట్స్ వై the extra charge stored on the plates of the capacitor transferred to the dielectric medium that cannot stay over the surface of the plates. Such maximum intensity of electric field developed inside the dielectric medium at which there is no leakage of charge from the plates to the dielectric medium. That is called the dielectric strength. Okay, it is a very cute concept. The dielectric strength is also given. Then whatever the capacitance, area of the plates is also given. Area of the plates is equal to 10 to the power minus 4 meter square. Capacitance C is equal to 15 picofarad. Pico means 10 to the power minus 12 farad. Then what is the dielectric constant K? That is the question they asked. Okay, how we can write? C is equal to epsilon naught A by D, because distance between the two plates, of course, that is not given. Okay, C is equal to epsilon naught A by D. That is equal to C is equal to, what is the relation between C and V? What is the relation between C and V? V is equal to ED, we know the formula. V is equal to E into D. We know that formula. Okay, how we can write? How we can write here? C is equal to epsilon naught. Of course, dielectric medium is there, no? That's why K epsilon naught A by D. Okay, but E is equal to V by D we can write, or D is equal to, D is not given, so D is equal to V by E we can write now. So therefore C is equal to K epsilon naught A by D means V by E means into E we can write. Here they asked what is the dielectric constant K. K is equal to, we can write CV by epsilon naught A into E we can write now. C is already given, V is given, epsilon naught we know, area of the plate is given, intensity of electric field is also given, maximum intensity of electric field is the dielectric strength, that is also given, everyone is given. Now we substitute here, then we can have the dielectric constant. C means 15 into 10 power of minus 12 farad, potential difference maximum 500 by epsilon naught. Of course we know that value, otherwise it is given in the problem only. Epsilon naught is equal to 8.86 into 10 power of minus 12 Coulomb square per Newton meter square into area 10 power of minus 4 into intensity of electric field, that is equal to 10 power of 6. Okay, you simplify them. When you simplify them, then approximately you will get 8.5. So dielectric constant is 8.5. This is the answer. In this way we have to do. Okay. Next. We'll go to next problem. You see the 62nd problem. 62nd problem. Okay. So have you seen? Determine the charge on the capacitor in the following circuit. In the following circuit, what is the charge stored in the capacitor? They asked. Okay. Now all of you look at the board. Are you getting idea? To find the charge stored in the capacitor. To find the charge stored in the capacitor, definitely we need the potential difference across the two plates of the capacitor. Means potential difference here. Potential difference here. You see, this is the diagram given. What is the charge stored in the capacitor? They asked. Okay, to find the charge stored in the capacitor, we need the potential difference across the capacitor. As the two plates of the capacitor is connected across this 10 ohm resistance, whatever the potential difference across the 10 ohm resistance, that is the potential difference across the capacitor. That's why our aim is we have to find the potential difference across the 10 ohm resistance. We know in steady state, at the two plates of the capacitor are open because these two are not joined by means of a conductor. That's why it is open. So in steady state, no current passing through this part. No current passing through this part. No current. Here, the cell supplies some current, no? That current passing through this cell, and that current when reaches the junction here, it is divided into two parts. I1 current through this resistance and I2 current through this resistance. And this current will pass. Whenever this I2 current passing through this resistance here, as I2 current passing through 10 ohm resistance, potential difference across the 10 ohm resistance we can calculate now, that is a V dash. Then if you know V dash is equal to I2 into 10 ohms. If you know I2 value, potential difference across 10 ohm is known. That is the potential difference across the capacitor because these two are in parallel. Then we can have the charge. That's why we have to find this I2 current. How we can find? You see, in steady state, as no current passing through this capacitor, just you forget this diagram. Only there are resistances like this. Okay. Here to find the total current here, first of all, to find the total current here, what is the effective resistance in the circuit? You see, in between these 2 points, as no current passing through this capacitor, this circuit is not there. Just you forget in steady state. Okay, now here in between these 2 points, these two are in series now. So 2 plus 10, 12. 12 ohm resistance is there between these two. Here 12 ohm and already existing 4 ohm. These two are in parallel. 12, 4, they are in parallel. What is the effective resistance? 12 into 4 by 12 plus 4. So 16, 4 4s are, that equals 3 ohm, no? So 3 ohm resistance. Here it is 3 ohm resistance. Now just you remove all this and you write 3 ohm. This 3 ohm and this 6 ohm, both are in series between the two terminals of the cell. 6 plus 3, 9. So totally 9 ohm resistance is there. Okay, in between the two plates across the cell, there is effective resistance of 9 ohm and potential difference applied is 72. Then what is the current passing through cell means, therefore I is equal to V by R effective. V means 72 by R effective is equal to, here effective of this combination is 3 ohm. So 6 plus 3, 9. Because this effective resistance 3 and this 6 both are in series between the 2 points across the cell. That's the effective resistance is 9. That is equal to 8 amperes. That means the main current is 8 amperes. Main current means that is the electric current passing through the cell. That is called main current. Okay, that is equal to 8 ampere. Now this 8 ampere current, when reaches the junction, it is divided into two parts. No, it is divided into two parts. What is this current I2? If you know, we can have the answer. So this main current I divided into two parts. You see, this is the main current I. When reaches the junction here, when reaches the junction, it is divided into two parts. These two ends are joined together again. Here in this part, 2 ohm resistance and 10 ohm resistance are there. Okay, that is connected to, here 4 ohm resistance is there, 4 ohm. These are connected like this. Okay, here this I is divided into two parts, I1, I2. This I2 current and I1 current. This I2 and I1. These combine together and becomes I. This is I2 and this is I1. This is 4 ohm. What about I1, I2? Here you see. Are you follow this diagram? This 10 ohm resistance is again connected to second end of the 4 ohm resistance. This current I2 flows like this in this direction. This I1 current and this I1 current and I2 current both combine together and this is connected to again the cell. Okay. Now what about this current I2? You see this series combination and this both are parallel. Then potential difference across this combination is same now. So from V is equal to I into R. As potential difference across this combination both are same, then this is V constant. Then I is inversely proportional to R. No, there are two cases. I1 is to I2 is equal to, I is proportional to R. I is inversely proportional to R. No, that's why I1 is to I2 is equal to, I1 means 1 by. Okay, first of all, you write the ratio first. I1 by I2 is equal to how much? First you write. I is inversely proportional to R. No. So I1 by I2 is equal to R2 by R1. R2 means, here R2 means, you see this is I1. So R2 means this resistance 2 plus 10, 12 by R1 means this resistance, no, 4. That is equal to 3. Therefore I1 is to I2 is equal to 3 is to 1. Therefore what about I2? I2 we need. So I2 is equal to 1 part. That means this total current 8 amperes when reaches the junction, it is divided into two parts in the ratio 3:1, in which one part only passing through this I2 means one part only, no? One part of the total current passing through this one. So one part of the total current means 1 by total parts 3 plus 1, 4 into total current. That is equal to total current is 8 by 4. That is equal to 2 amperes. So current passing through this series combination is 2 ampere. That means through 10 ohm resistance also current is 2 ampere only, no, because 2 ampere current passing like this and come back again. That's why, therefore PD across 10 ohm resistance V dash is equal to I2 into resistance 10. I2 means already 2 we got into 10, that is equal to 20 volt. So potential difference across 10 ohm resistance is equal to 20 volt. As this capacitor is connected in parallel with the 10 ohm resistance, the potential difference across the capacitor is also equal to this only. Therefore, charge stored in the capacitor is equal to capacitance C into V dash. Potential difference across this one. C means 10 microfarad into V dash means 20. As it is substituted in microfarad, then you will get answer in microcoulomb. Therefore, Q is equal to 200 microcoulomb. This is the charge stored in the capacitor. It is the charge stored in the capacitor. Anybody else having doubt in this problem? 200 microcoulomb is the answer. Anybody else having doubts in this problem? Okay. Next, you see the next problem. You read the 63rd problem. You read 63rd problem. Sixty-third. You have to say how we can do. Have you seen the problem? No, anybody else can say? Have seen the problem? A capacitor with a capacitance 5 microfarad is charged to 5 microcoulomb. The plates are pulled apart to reduce the capacitance to 2 microfarad. How much work is done? Initially, whenever the capacitor is charged to 5 microcoulomb, you find the energy stored. Whenever the distance between the two plates is increases so that the capacitance is reduced to 2 microfarad, what is the amount of work done? Okay. Yeah. Here work done is equal to change in energy stored in the capacitor, no? Okay, Darpan Chaudhary. Here energy store, here work done is equal to energy change in the energy stored in the capacitor, no? Of course, work done is equal to V into dq. V into dq means that is equal to energy change in energy stored in the capacitor. Okay, so how we can find the change in energy stored in the capacitor? Now, okay, you see problem number 63. Now that is 63. A capacitor with capacitance 5 microfarad. A capacitor with capacitance 5 microfarad. That means initial capacitance is 5 microfarad. Charge to a charge Q1 is equal to 5 microcoulomb. Okay, if the plates are pulled apart to reduce the capacitance to 2 microfarad, so final capacitance change it to 2 microfarad. Then what is the work done? That is a question mark. Okay, all of you look at the board. Here, based on the given information, you see initially the two plates of the capacitor like this, capacitance is C1 and energy stored is Q1. Now the capacitance is changed by increasing the distance between the two plates. By increasing the distance between the two plates here, the capacitance is changed to 2 microfarad. Initially capacitance is 5 microfarad. Now as the distance between the two plates is increased, the capacitance becomes 2 microfarad. Here only the distance between the two plates is increased. That's all. Actually, this capacitor is charged with a charge Q and it is isolated from the cell. When the two plates are separated, capacitance will change, but there is no change in the charge. So Q2 is equal to Q1 only. In that case, what is the work done? They asked. Work done is equal to final potential energy minus initial potential energy of the capacitor. Final potential energy means half into C1 into, sorry, as the charge is constant here, in terms of charge, you write the formula for energy. In terms of charge, energy means Q square by 2C, no? Because capacitance are known. So Q final, that means Q2 square by 2C2 minus Q1 square by 2C1. Here, since Q1 is equal to Q2 is equal to sec Q. Okay, then you take this is equal to sec Q. Then you take QQ because charges are same. So you write Q square common, Q square by 2 common, Q square by 2 into 1 by C2 minus 1 by C1. So now you substitute the data. Q square means 5 microcoulomb. So 5 into 10 to the power of minus 6 coulomb whole square by 2 into 1 by C2. C2 means 2 into 10 to the power of minus 6 by minus 1 by C1 means 5 into 10 to the power of minus 6. We can take 10 to the power of minus 6 common, then you write outside. So 25 into 10 to the power of minus 6 whole square by 2 into, here 10 to the power of minus 6 you take common, you write outside, into 1 by 2 minus 1 by 5. So a 10 to the power of minus 6 square cancel. Okay, this is equal to 25 by 2 into 10 to the power of minus 6 into, what is the LCM? When you take LCM, you will get 3 by 10, no? 3 by 10, 5 minus 2 by 10. Okay, therefore, this is equal to 75 by 2 into 10 to the power of minus 7, we can write. Okay, if you simplify them, then you will get, you see, 2 3s are 6, 15, 7s are 0.5 into 10 to the power of minus 7. Okay, therefore, answer is given 3 point something. Therefore, work done is equal to 3.75 into 10 to the power of minus 6 joules, we can write now. This is the amount of work to be done to increase the distance between the two plates of the capacitor so that capacitance becomes 2 microfarad. 3.75 into 10 to the power of minus 6 joule is the answer. Okay. Anybody is having doubt in this? Of course, that is, I think it is an easy problem. It was in April 2019. It was asked in April 2019. Okay. Next, 64. Problem number 64. Already, it is in our material. It is the material problem. Okay. A parallel, just all of you look at the problem first. You see the problem first. Sixty-fourth problem, you see. All of you see the 64th problem. Okay, have you seen the 64th problem? Previously, we have done this problem, this type of problem. Here, approach is different here. Okay, a parallel plate capacitor is made of, here two plates of the capacitor are parallel to each other, but half part is filled with one dielectric medium as in the diagram. The distance between the two plates of the capacitor is D, and two plates are square plates. The two plates are square plates of side A, that is given. Here it is filled with a dielectric medium of dielectric constant K. Now what is the capacitance here? Here distance between the two plates is small d, which is by far less than A, that is given. Okay, now all of you look at the board. It's also very, very important. If this type of problems they asked, how we can approach? You listen. Here you see. Here suppose the entire space between the two plates is filled with a dielectric medium of dielectric constant K, then simply we can write Kc. If half of the exactly parallel to its length of the plate, if half of the distance between the two plates is filled with one medium and remaining with other medium, then in that case also we are having formula for effective capacitance. If half of the area is filled with one medium, remaining half of the area is filled with another medium, still we are having formula for effective capacitance. But here in this way, in this direction, from one edge of the second edge of the first plate and first edge of the second plate, when both are joined like this, then whatever the shape, in that shape it is filled with a dielectric medium of dielectric constant K. Then what is the effective capacitance in this case they asked it. Okay, here each plate is in the form of a square plate. Each plate is in the form of a spirit plate of side A. The distance between two parallel plates is D given. Of course, that is by far less than A. That is given. Now, how we can find? Okay. So here, no doubt, the thickness of the dielectric medium is not constant throughout the length of the plate. It varies like this. That's why you consider a small element here. You consider a small element at a distance x from the first end of the plate. From the first end of left end of the plate at a distance small x, you imagine a small elemental capacitor having thickness dx. So just you part this, you observe this part only, this element only you observe. What is their capacitance we have to find? You see here, this is filled with one dielectric medium. Here this is, as thickness is very small, almost all this is filled with up to this, it is filled with one dielectric medium. It is the space, okay, vacuum. Then what is here? These two, this in this capacitor, up to this it is one capacitor, up to this it is another capacitor. That means these two are in series. No, when you consider the element only, just I am drawing the element here. This is the elemental capacitor. Just I am drawing this elemental capacitor here. The length of each plate is equal to dx, and breadth. Breadth means the element is like this. No, this elemental plate is like this. That's why this elemental plate is like this. Like this. So this side is equal to A and this is equal to dx. In which up to certain length it is filled with a dielectric medium, almost all. It is filled with a dielectric medium of dielectric constant K. Then you see, this can be imagined. It is not exactly half. It need not be half. Suppose if you consider here, this part is less and this part is more. Okay. Here, in this case, here this length is say y. This length is say y. Suppose this angle is equal to say theta. This is theta. Okay. Now you see, here, up to this we can imagine one capacitor. This is another capacitor. Here, this capacitor is connected to this capacitor end to end. That means these two are in series. No, this capacitor and this capacitor, these two are in series. Okay. Here, this is this capacitance is say DC1. This capacitance is DC2. What about DC1? This capacitance having dielectric medium up to this one. Dielectric medium length is equal to y. No, so this is equal to y. Then what about this length? That is equal to this total distance between the two plates is d. From that you subtract y. Then this is equal to d minus y. No, so it is equal to d minus y. Now tell me, what is the capacitance of this one? DC1 is equal to dielectric medium K having dielectric constant K into epsilon naught into area of this plate of this capacitor. Area means dx into side A. No, that's by A into dx by distance between these two plates is equal to y. Similarly, DC2 is equal to, K is not there because it is vacuum. That's why epsilon naught into area of the element A into dx by distance between these two plates. We can imagine here one plate, both are series. Now this capacitor and this capacitor both are in series. That's why it is equal to d minus y. Epsilon naught into area of this plate A into distance between these two plates is equal to d minus y. Okay, this is equation. Okay, this is the capacitance of these two capacitors which are in series. Then what is the effective capacitance? When two capacitors are in series like this, then here you see this part of the capacitor behaves like this part of this entire capacitor behaves like one capacitor. This is the other. Both are joined end to end. This end is connected to the other end, first end of the other capacitor. That's why these are end to end connected. They are in series. When they are in series, effective capacitance, say DC, effective capacitance of these two elemental capacitors is say DC. 1 by DC is equal to 1 by DC1 plus 1 by DC2, as these two are in series. These two are in series. Okay, now this is equal to 1 by DC1 means K epsilon naught A dx by y plus here 1 by DC2 means d minus y by epsilon naught A into dx. This is 1 by DC value. We need effective capacitance. That means we have to integrate them. But here there are two variables y and x. How we can change them? You see from the diagram. from diagram, tan theta is take, tan theta is equal to, when you take this total triangle, d by this length is equal to a, d by a. When you take this triangle, then tan theta is equal to y by this length, y by x, no, because this distance is equal to x, no, x. From this, y is equal to, or x is equal to, a by d into y, or dx is equal to, ad are constant, you write outside, a by d into dy. So this is the relation. Now you here from this is a equation 1, it is a 1, it is 2, 2 in 1. Here x distance varies from 0 to x is equal to a, no. Here this x value varies from 0 to x is equal to a. That's why in terms of x you write this entire equation. 1 by dc is equal to, y means we can write a by d, sorry, y means dx by a, no. Y means we can write from this x into d by a by k epsilon naught a into dx, k epsilon a into dx, plus d minus y means y is equal to x into d by a, okay, by epsilon naught a into dx. That's all. Okay. Therefore, you take LCM in this. How we can write? In terms of x, we have to integrate. Okay, that's why here we can take epsilon naught a into dx, we can take common. 1 by epsilon naught a into dx, you take common. Then remaining you write x minus d by a into k plus here d minus x d by a. That's all, because epsilon naught a into dx is taken common, no? You write like this. Then this is equal to 1 by epsilon naught a into dx into what about this one? Here k is there. X terms you write aside. X by ak, here minus x into d by a, you keep aside. Remaining you write aside. Minus d by ak plus d. Okay. Therefore, this is equal to, how we can write? 1 by epsilon naught a into dx of, okay, you take total LCM ak directly. Then what is the remaining? ak we have taken common, so x is there, minus a is there. Then k xd, as ak is there, minus d we can write directly, plus ak into d when you take LCM. Okay, this is 1 by dc value. Therefore, dc is equal to something you write. Is there any common we can take here? In this, can we take anyone common? X here we can take common. 1 by epsilon naught a into dx into, here you take x common, x of 1 minus k into d, plus here d you take common, ak minus 1 whole by a into k. This is 1 by dc value. Therefore, dc is equal to, therefore dc, therefore dc is equal to something you write. Dc is equal to epsilon naught a dx into ak by x of 1 minus kd plus d into ak minus 1. Okay. Therefore, effective capacity, it is equation 3. From this C, effective capacitance C we need. C is equal to integral dc. That is integral. dc means epsilon naught a into ak into, what is the capital A here? No, epsilon small a only, no? Small a. So epsilon naught small a square you will get. Okay. Epsilon naught small a square into k into dx by x into 1 minus kd plus d into ak minus 1. Okay, therefore, here epsilon naught a square k we can take common. We can write outside integral dx by d of ak minus 1 plus x into 1 minus kd. You do integration. This is limits. As we are doing integration with respect to x, x limits are from x equal 0 to x equal to a. Okay. Now epsilon naught a square k into, what is the integration of this one? Ln, because 1 by some constant a plus bx, it is just like that. So ln, first a plus bx we have to write. Okay, d into ak minus 1 plus x into 1 minus k into d, we have to write by this coefficient of x is 1 minus kd. So 1 minus kd you write. 1 minus kd you write. Okay. Now you substitute the limits from 0 to a. Then you simplify them. Then after simplification, you will get k epsilon naught a square, k epsilon naught a square ln k by d into k minus 1 you will get. You see any calculation here? If calculation is there any wrong, you see. Okay. Okay, right, I will explain roughly. Here, to find the effective capacitance here, the dielectric, here the space between the two plates is not completely filled with the dielectric medium. This part is filled with the dielectric medium, it is empty. That's why first from the left end of the plate at a distance x, you imagine an element. In this element, this here there is a medium up to certain part and the remaining is not air or vacuum. Okay, that's why you consider here, first you find the effective capacitance of this element considered. In this element, there are two sub elements are there, elemental capacitors are there. It acts as one element, elemental capacitor, this acts as another elemental capacitor. These two are connected n to n, that means they are in series. That's why effective capacitance means when they are in series, 1 by dc is equal to 1 by dc1 plus 1 by dc2. dc1 means capacitance of this one, means k, because the dielectric constant is k, no, k into epsilon naught a, area of this plate means dx into length of this plate a. So k epsilon naught a by distance between these two plates means that is y, plus 1 by dc2 means this one, epsilon naught into area of this element a into dx by this one d minus y, because this total is d minus y gives this distance between these two plates of the elemental capacitor. That is 1 by dc is equal like this, we got this one. Okay, therefore from this I have substituted the values of this one, then simplification gives like this, then dc I have written. It is the effective capacitance of this elemental capacitor. This type of elements can be imagined from x equal 0 to x equal to a, no? Then you integrate between the limits x equal 0 to x equal to a. Then you simplify them, you will get like this. Okay, in this way you will get. Okay. D minus y is equal to xd by a. Okay, d minus xd by a. So d minus xd by a by epsilon naught a into dx. Okay, we have taken 1 by epsilon naught a dx common. Then we got x minus d by a into k, d minus xd by a. That's all. So when you take LCM, x terms we have written aside, x by ak minus xd by a minus d by ak plus d. Okay, then x minus, we have taken LCM, total ak, so x minus kxd minus, as ak is there, d only, plus d into ak into d. Okay, if you simplify them, you will get this answer. Okay, next. Now we see 55, problem number 55. All of you read problem number 55. Okay, all of you see problem number 55. A parallel plate capacitor is of area. A parallel plate capacitor is of area 6 centimeter square and separation d is equal to 3 millimeter. The gap is filled with 3 dielectric materials of equal thickness as shown in the figure. So it is divided into the area, the gap is filled with 3 dielectric materials having equal thickness in the figure, with the dielectric mediums having dielectric constants K1 is equal to 10, K2 is equal to 12, K3 is equal to 14. K3 is equal to, I think 1 or 4, 14, I think 14. The dielectric constant of material which they fully inserted in above capacitor gives same capacitance would be dash. Okay, now you see, I think you have seen the problem. Now all of you look at the board. All of you look at the board. Here there are 2 plates parallel. In a parallel plate capacitor there are 2 plates, each of area 6 centimeter square. The distance between 2 plates is 3 mm. Here in this, the space between the 2 plates is filled with 3 dielectric media as in the diagram, so that 1/3 of area is filled with this dielectric medium, another 1/3 is filled with this dielectric medium, and last 1/3 area is filled with this dielectric medium. Then what is the effective dielectric constant of the single medium filled between the 2 plates totally, so that whatever the effective capacitance of this capacitance, the same capacitance must be obtained when single medium is filled with single medium is filled entire the space between the 2 plates. అంటే కెపాసిటర్ 2 ప్లేట్స్ మధ్య 1/3 ఏరియా ఈ డైఎలక్ట్రిక్ మీడియం, రిమైనింగ్ 1/3 ఇట్లా, ఇంకో 1/3 ఇట్లా డిఫరెంట్ డైఎలక్ట్రిక్ మీడియంస్ ఫిల్అప్ చేసినప్పుడు ఎఫెక్టివ్ కెపాసిటెన్స్ ఎంత వస్తుందో అంతే ఎఫెక్టివ్ కెపాసిటెన్స్ రావాలంటే కెపాసిటర్ 2 ప్లేట్స్ మధ్య ఉన్న స్పేస్ మొత్తాన్ని సింగిల్ డైఎలక్ట్రిక్ మీడియం తో ఫిల్అప్ చేసినప్పుడు దాని యొక్క డైఎలక్ట్రిక్ కాన్స్టెంట్ ఎంత అన్నాడు. సో ఎఫెక్టివ్ డైఎలక్ట్రిక్ కాన్స్టెంట్ దే ఆస్క్డ్. ఫస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ఆల్ 1/3 ఏరియా ఈ డైఎలక్ట్రిక్ మీడియం, రిమైనింగ్ 1/3 లైక్ దిస్. అంటే ఇక్కడ ఈ ప్లేట్స్ అన్ని కూడా ప్యారల్ గా ఉన్నట్లే కదా. ఇదొక కెపాసిటెన్స్, ఈ పార్ట్ ఒక కెపాసిటర్ అనుకోండి, ఇదొక కెపాసిటర్ అనుకోండి, ఇదొక కెపాసిటర్ అనుకోండి. ఆల్ ఆర్ జాయింట్ ప్లేట్స్ ఆల్ ప్లేట్స్ ఆర్ జాయింట్ టుగెదర్ ఎట్ ఏ పాయింట్. దట్స్ వై ఆల్ 3 ఆర్ ప్యారలల్. ఇట్స్ ఓన్లీ ఈ ప్లేట్ అన్ని జాయిన్ చేశారు కాబట్టి అన్ని ప్యారలల్ ఉన్నట్టుగా తీసేసుకోవచ్చు కదా. అప్పుడు దీని యొక్క కెపాసిటెన్స్ C1 అనుకున్నా, దీనికి C2, దీనికి C3 అనుకుంటే 3 ప్యారలల్ ఉన్నాయి కాబట్టి effective capacitance is equal to C1 plus C2 plus C3 when they are in parallel. C is equal to effective capacitance కాబట్టి నేను రాసుకోవచ్చు, ఈ మొత్తం స్పేస్ ని సింగిల్ డైఎలక్ట్రిక్ మీడియం తో ఫిల్అప్ చేయాలంటే దానికి డైఎలక్ట్రిక్ కాన్స్టెంట్ K అనుకుంటే K ఎప్సిలాన్ నాట్ ఇంటూ ఏరియా ఆఫ్ ది ఈచ్ ప్లేట్ క్యాపిటల్ A. సపోజ్ ఒక్కోసారి ఒక ప్లేట్ యొక్క ఏరియా ఎట్లా ఉంటుంది, ఇంకో ప్లేట్ యొక్క ఏరియా తక్కువ ఉంటుంది. ఈ రెండింటికి కామన్ గా ఉండే ఏరియా అంటే ఇదే కదా. సపోజ్ ఇది A1 ఇది A2 అనుకోండి. ఇప్పుడు దీని యొక్క కెపాసిటెన్స్ ఎంత అన్నాడు. C is equal to ఎప్సిలాన్ నాట్ ఇంటూ కామన్ ఏరియా బిట్వీన్ ద 2 ప్లేట్స్, అంటే ఏ ప్లేట్ యొక్క ఏరియాస్ అంటే ఈ రెండు ప్లేట్స్ కి కామన్ గా ఉన్న ఏరియా అంటే ఇదే కదా. ఆ ఏరియా A1 కాబట్టి A1 by D అని రాసుకోవాలి. దిస్ ఇస్ ద కెపాసిటెన్స్. అంతేగాని A2 C ఎప్సిలాన్ నాట్ A2 by D కాదు, ఎప్సిలాన్ నాట్ A2 minus A1 by D కాదు. ఈ రెండు ప్లేట్స్ కి కామన్ గా ఎంత ఏరియా ఉందో ఆ ఏరియా రాయాలి ఇక్కడ. కామన్ ఏరియా బిట్వీన్ ద 2 ప్లేట్స్ ఆఫ్ ది కెపాసిటర్ ఇన్ దిస్. ఓకే, సరే. ఇక్కడ ఎఫెక్టివ్ కెపాసిటెన్స్ డైఎలక్ట్రిక్ కాన్స్టెంట్ K అనుకుంటే K ఇంటూ ఎప్సిలాన్ నాట్ ఇంటూ ఏరియా ఆఫ్ ఈచ్ ప్లేట్ A బై డిస్టెన్స్ బిట్వీన్ ద 2 ప్లేట్స్ D ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు C1 అంటే ఈ ప్లేట్ యొక్క కెపాసిటెన్స్, డైఎలక్ట్రిక్ కాన్స్టెంట్ K1 ఇంటూ ఎప్సిలాన్ నాట్ ఇంటూ ఏరియా A/3 by distance between these two plates d plus దీనికి వచ్చేసరికి k2 epsilon naught a by 3 by d plus దీనికి వచ్చేసరికి k3 epsilon naught a by 3 by d. In all terms we can cancel epsilon naught a by d, we can cancel, remaining you write k is equal to epsilon naught a by d. When you cancel them, then k1 by 3 plus k2 by 3 plus k3 by 3 you will get. This is called k1 10 by 3 plus 12 by 3 plus 14 by 3. I think it is 14 or 1, it is not clear here. Okay, we will see 14 only, right? So as in the denominator all are same, then we can add these two, these three. Okay, 22 36 by 3 12. So effective dielectric constant is 12. When the entire space is filled with a single dielectric medium, then their effective dielectric constant is equal to 12. As it is the dielectric constant, it has no unit and no dimension formula. Okay. Next. Okay. You see 61, problem number 61. All of you read the 61 problem. Problem number 61. A parallel plate capacitor of capacitance 90 picofarad is connected to a battery of EMF 20 volt. If the dielectric material of dielectric constant 5 by 3 is inserted between the plates, the magnitude of induced charge is how much? Okay. Initially, when capacitor of capacitance 61, all of you look at the board. When capacitor of capacitance 90 picofarad and it is charged to a potential of 200 volt, then we know the energy stored U1 is equal to something we know. Okay. If the dielectric material of dielectric constant 5 by 3 is inserted between the two plates, now capacitance becomes C2 is equal to K into C1. That is equal to 90 into 5 by 3 picofarad. That is equal to 150 picofarad, no? Because 3 30s are 30 into 5. Okay, 150 picofarad. Capacitance changes. Then what about the induced charge they asked? What about the induced charge? Initially, in this case, what is the initial charge? First, we have to find. Then whenever the dielectric medium is introduced, whatever the potential, first we have to find. Okay, you see, initial charge Qi is equal to, only induced charge they asked. Initial charge Qi is equal to C1 into V simply. We need not find U. C1 into V. C means 90 picofarad into 200. That is the potential difference. Okay. So that is equal to 18 into 10 to the power of 3. As it is substituted in picofarad, you write minus 12. That is equal to 18 into 10 to the power of minus 9 coulombs. This is the initial charge. Whenever the dielectric medium is introduced between the two plates of the capacitor, by keeping the capacitor in contact with the cell only, then the final charge stored is equal to C2 into potential difference is same. V2 means V only. C2 means 150 picofarad means into 10 to the power of minus 12 into V2 means same 200 volt only. So this is equal to, if you simplify them, 30 into 10 to the power of minus 9 coulombs. 30 into 10 to the power of minus 9 coulombs. Okay. Therefore, initial charge is this one. Final charge is this one. That means whenever the dielectric medium is kept between the two plates of the capacitor, the final charge becomes this one. Means what is the extra charge developed? That is the charge induced. Extra charge developed is equal to charge induced, which is equal to final charge minus initial charge. Final charge is, here you see, this is 30 nanocoulomb. This is 18 nanocoulomb. 10 to the power of minus 9 means nano, no? So 30 minus 18 nanocoulomb, that is equal to 12 nanocoulomb. 12 nanocoulomb is the charge induced. Charge induced is equal to follow nanocoulomb. So that is the answer. Not 1.2. Follow nanocoulomb is the answer. (1.2 nanocoulomb or 12 nanocoulomb? You see, initially 900 it is 20 volt or 200 volt. Sorry, it is 20 volt. Of course, by 200 you will get this one. If you take 20, you will get 1.2. Okay, so you take by 200 only. You do, no problem. Okay, right. Next, suppose if you take here by taking 20 volts, here 20 given, not 200. If it is 20 volt, then it becomes 20 means 1800. That means it is 2. Then 1.8 into 10 to the power minus 9, this one. Here it is 20. If it is 20, then this is equal to 3 only. You will get 3 nanocoulomb. Here it is 1.8 nanocoulomb. Okay, then 3 nanocoulomb minus 1.8 nanocoulomb. So 1.2 nanocoulomb is the charge induced. Okay, next. Next problem. All of you see the other problem. (62) actually it is in current electricity, but I have noted here only. Just to see the problem. In the following circuit, the switch S is closed. Then the two cells start charging now. Then charge on the capacitor C1 as a function of time will be dash. Here you see, suppose there is a single capacitor. Suppose there is a single capacitor having capacitance C. It is connected in series with R and combination is connected across the cell. Then charge at any instant of time Q is equal to Q naught into 1 minus C to the power minus T by tau no. Tau means CR. C means effective capacitance. When two capacitors are connected in series here, effective capacitance is equal to C1 C2 by C1 plus C2 no. That's why the total charge at any instant of time Q is equal to Q naught. Q naught means effective capacitance C equivalent into E. E means EMF of the cell into 1 minus E to the power minus T by CR. C into R means R into C means effective capacitance. C1 C2 by C1 plus C2. I think you can do. This is only oral problem. Next you see 63rd problem. You see 63rd problem. All of you see the 63rd problem. (63rd). Okay, all of you look at the board now. You see, different capacitors are connected like this between A and B. What is the effective capacitance they asked? Okay, you rewrite this diagram because this is one junction. Here you see these two junctions are joined directly. Here it is A. Suppose this junction is say B. This junction is say C. This junction is also C only, no, because these two junctions are joined together by means of a wire only. That's why if it is C, it is also C. It is B. Okay. Of course, if it is B means this junction is also equal to B only. Between A and B, they asked the effective capacitance. You rewrite the diagram between A and B. Effective capacitance we have to write. Here you see, here, sorry, it is B, no, it is a C. Okay, it is C, it is a D. Because B is already here, no. It is a D. Now, here D is there. Here B is there and C is there. Now A, B, C, D, 4 points are there. Now you note the capacitances. Here 6 microfarad capacitance is there between A and D. So between A and D, you take 6 microfarad capacitor. Already it is noted. Next, you see this D, between D and C, one capacitor is there, no? By means of a conducting wire, one capacitor is connected. Between D and C, D, C are here. So one capacitor is there, whose capacitance is 5 microfarad. So this capacitor is noted. Again, between this D and C only, by means of a wire, one more capacitor is connected like this, no? That's why between D and C only, one more capacitor is also there like this. That is also 5 only. So this capacitor is also noted. That's all. Next, between D and C, by directly it is connected by means of a wire only. That's why between D and C, 2 microfarad capacitance is there. Between D and C, 2 microfarad capacitance is there. 2. Okay. All these capacitors are over here. Now, between C and B, you see this between C and B, 2 microfarad capacitor is there. Between C and B, 2 microfarad capacitor. This is over. Between C and B, 4 microfarad capacitance is there. 4 microfarad capacitance. That's all. Between A and B, what is the effective capacitance? Now you see, it is A, it is D, here it is C, and it is B. Now here 6 microfarad capacitor is there. As these three are parallel, effective capacitance means 5 plus 5, 10, 12. 12 microfarad. As these two are in parallel, effective is 6, no? 6. All these, now it is converted into 3 capacitors in series. Effective capacitance is how much? Effective capacitance between A and B is, say, CAB. So 1 by CAB is equal to 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2 plus 1 by C3. When you simplify them, then effective capacitance between A and B, you will get 2.4 microfarad. Because all capacitance are given in microfarad only, so you will get 2.4 microfarad after simplification. Okay. 12 point? Yeah, 2.4. Yeah, 12 by 5 you will get. So 2.5 is the 2.4 is the answer. Okay, very good. Next, last but one problem. Oh, 12:55 time is. Okay, last problem you see. Last but one. 64. A parallel plate capacitor with area 200 centimeter square. Separation between the plates is given. Is connected across the battery of EMF V. If the force of attraction between the plates is given, then the value of V is approximately dash. Okay, this is also direct problem only. 64. Here capacitance is given. The parallel plate capacitor with area is equal to 200 centimeter square. Okay, that is equal to, you convert them into SI system because answer is given in SI system. 200 into centimeter means 10 to the power minus 2 meter. Whole square means square meter square. So this is equal to 2 into 10 to the power minus 2 meter square we can write. Separation between the two plates D is equal to 1.5 centimeter means into 10 to the power minus 2 meter. EMF is V. Force of attraction F is equal to 25 into 10 to the power minus 6 Newton. Then what about V? This V value they asked. Actually, what is the formula for force between the two plates of the capacitor? We know energy stored is equal to Q square by 2 epsilon naught, no? Sorry, Q square by 2C, no? Energy stored. Q square by 2 into C means epsilon naught A by D. D means in XA, since distance between the two plates is X. Now, force, if you know the energy stored in the capacitor, force between the two plates of the capacitor is equal to negative gradient of potential energy, means minus du by dx. That is equal to minus d by dx of u means q square x by 2 epsilon naught a. Here we are differentiating with respect to x. X only the variable. Remaining we can write outside. Q square by 2 epsilon naught a into d by dx of x means 1. That's all. This minus sign represents only attraction force. Attraction force is represented with negative sign. Now you substitute the data. But here they asked V, not Q. How we can write? Therefore, that implies F is equal to Q square by 2 epsilon naught A, since attraction. F is given, Q is not given. Q can be written as CV, no? Q can be written as CV. So CV whole square means C square V square, since Q is equal to CV. But C is equal to, okay, by 2 into, you see C is equal to epsilon naught A by D. So epsilon naught A can be written as C into D. No, you write C into D. C square cancel. Therefore, CV square by 2 into D. That is equal to C and means epsilon naught A by D into V square by 2D. Therefore, F is equal to epsilon naught A into V square by 2 into D square. Here, F is given, epsilon naught we know, area of the plate is given, distance between the two plates is given. Can't we find V? We can find no. That implies F means 25 into 10 to the power of minus 6 is equal to epsilon naught means 8.85 into 10 to the power of minus 12 into area 2 into 10 to the power of minus 2. Okay, here into V square by 2 into D square means 1.5 into 10 to the power of minus 2 square is there whole square. Simplification gives V is equal to 250 volt. Okay. Last problem, 65th. Okay, have you seen? Now is it okay? Video is clear to you? Last problem, can you wait? Just 2-3 minutes. Last problem, can I explain? Okay. You see 64th problem is here. Now last problem, 65th. Fifth in the problem, there is some mistake is there, you see. Fifth problem, you see. A parallel plate capacitor with area, sorry, 65th no. A capacitor C1 is equal to, C1 is not mentioned, but C1 is there. Okay. A capacitor C1 is equal to 1 microfarad. That is not mentioned in the problem, but that is there. Okay, that is charged to a potential of V is equal to 60 volt. You see the problem? I will explain. Okay, have you seen the problem? Now all of you look at the board. All of you look at the board. The capacitor C1 is equal to 1 microfarad. It is not given in the problem, but 1 microfarad is there. C2 is equal to, here this capacitor C1 is connected to a cell having EMF 60 volt by connecting the terminal 1 here, so that it is closed and it is open. It is dotted line. That's why it is open. It is closed. Now this capacitor charged to 60 volt. Okay, now whenever it is closed like this, here capacitance C2 is given. C2 is equal to 3 microfarad and C3 is equal to 6 microfarad. Now this capacitor C1 is connected to the cell by closing the lever here with connected with 1. Then this capacitor charged to this much potential. Now this lever is joined like this. Lever is connected to 2. Then the cell is excluded and these two capacitors are included in this circuit. Now the circuit becomes like this. Here it is C2, C3, it is C1, but it is charged to a potential V is equal to 60 volt. That is the case. Now this capacitor is charged to 60 volt and then it is disconnected and this capacitor is connected across the combination of these two capacitors like this. Now what is the total charge on the sum of the final charges on C2 and C3? On these two capacitors, the total charge Q23 is equal to question mark. That is the case. How we can do? First of all, what is the initial charge stored in the capacitor? whenever it is connected to this one, the initial charge stored in the capacitor Qi is equal to C1 into V, because initially only this capacitor only charged. That's why Q1 is equal to C1 into V. C1 means 1 microfarad into V means 60. That's why 60 microcoulomb. Initial charge is this one. Okay, whenever this capacitor is connected to this one, the total charge in the system does not alter, because no cell is there to gain the extra charge or loses charge. That's why total charge in the system is this only. So whenever you see these two capacitors are in series now, this combination is this effective capacitance of these two is in series with this one. This effective capacitance is in parallel with this capacitor, because the effective of these two is in parallel with this one now. So what is the effective capacitance of this circuit? What is the effective capacitance of this circuit? Effective capacitance is equal to, you see, this combination is in parallel with this one. Effective capacitance means this plus effective capacitance of this one. Instead of this one, you write C23. C23 and this C1 both are parallel. Effective capacitance is equal to C1 plus C23, no? C1 plus C23 means, as these two are in series, effective capacitance of C2 and C3 is C2 C3 by C2 plus C3. Now you substitute the data here. C1 is 1 plus C2 C3, 3 into 6 by 3 plus 6. Okay, this is called 9. 9 twos are. Therefore, 3. Effective capacitance is equal to 3 microfarad. Effective capacitance is equal to 3 microfarad. Therefore, now the charge Q is equal to effective capacitance into applied voltage V dash. అంటే ఇక్కడ ఈ రెండు కెపాసిటర్స్ ని దీనికి ప్యారల్ గా కనెక్ట్ చేసినప్పుడు ఎఫెక్టివ్ కెపాసిటెన్స్ ఆఫ్ ది సిస్టమ్ వచ్చింది. ఆ ఎఫెక్టివ్ కెపాసిటెన్స్ ఆఫ్ ది సిస్టమ్ వచ్చినప్పుడు దేర్ఫోర్ పొటెన్షియల్ డిఫరెన్స్ ఎంత? పొటెన్షియల్ డిఫరెన్స్ అంటే ఈ కాంబినేషన్ ఇది రెండు ప్యారల్ గా ఉన్నాయి కాబట్టి ఇక్కడ ఎఫెక్టివ్ పొటెన్షియల్ డిఫరెన్స్ V డాష్ అనుకుంటే ఇట్లా ప్యారల్ కనెక్ట్ చేసిన తర్వాత అప్పుడు టోటల్ చార్జ్ ఇన్ ద సిస్టమ్ డస్ నాట్ చేంజ్. So Q is equal to effective capacitance of this entire system, this one, into common potential in this case, effective potential difference in this case. Effective potential difference means whenever this combination is connected in parallel, whatever the effective potential difference between these two, that is the effective potential difference V dash. C effective 3, Q means that does not alter, 60 into V dash. So V dash is equal to 20 volts. That means the common potential difference across this one is 20 volt. So when this capacitor is connected in parallel with the series combination of these two, then the potential difference across this capacitor becomes 20 volt. Across this combination is also 20 volt. Across this combination is also 20 volt. Therefore, what is the charge stored in the sum of the charges stored in the two capacitors C2 and C3 is how much? So charge stored in 2 and 3, that is Q23 say. In this effective potential difference across this second and third capacitors is equal to V dash only. Effective capacitance of this one is C2 3 into potential difference V dash. C2 3 means C2 C3 by C2 plus C3 into V dash. C2 C3, of course we got here 2 no. Okay, substitute 6 into 3 into 6 by 3 plus 6 into V dash means 20. That is equal to 9 twos are, so 40. As we have substituted this capacitance in microfarad, you will get answer in microcoulomb. So the total charge stored in this series combination of two capacitors is equal to 40 microcoulomb. So what is the remaining charge? From 60, if you subtract this 40, then remaining lies in this one. So this is the effective charge 40. Here answer is given actually 36, it's not correct. 36 is not correct. 40 microcoulomb is the answer. Okay. So with this problem, the previous problems are over. Okay, now